Tara Binns, Eagle-Eyed Pilot by Lisa Rajan and Eerika Omiyale. When Tara Binns runs widder shins around the costume box, the attic spins, the fun begins, the magic clasp unlocks. Widder shins, what's widder shins? Both you and Tara say. It's when you run in circles but go round the other way. The box has big ideas and lots of hats and shoes. It puts her in a costume she wouldn't normally choose. Each outfit brings adventure and takes her far away. She shuts her eyes and wonders, what will I be today? She's flying in a jumbo jet at 30,000 feet. Smart peak cap upon her head, she's in the pilot's seat. They're cruising on the jet stream with darkening clouds in sight. The deep blue sea is to the left and mountains to the right. A voice says, "Hi, I'm Molly. I'm your co-pilot today. You're flying us to Timbuktu. If you need help, just say." Tara viewed the dashboard and said, "Questions, I have two. What are all the dials for, and what do the buttons do?" Molly gave a lesson in how planes climbed and turned, and how to cruise, descend and land, and pretty soon she had learned. Then bright light filled the cockpit, the lightning forked and flashed. A storm was fast approaching and the rumbling thunder crashed. The winds were getting stronger, they lashed an island town, uprooting trees and bushes and blowing houses down. Tara needed help, so she asked Molly and the crew, "How do you deal with storms and what would other pilots do? Try to fly above it, take the plane straight through, steer the plane around it? Yes, I think that's what I'll do." "It's a very tough decision. I see why you are torn, but most pilots fly above it. They don't go around a storm." "I'm going to go around it, like I did around the chest," and she set the plane's coordinates on a bearing heading west. The storm clouds were avoided, and they headed out to sea. The flight was smooth and steady, and the storm a memory. Tara looked below them, pushed back her pilot's cap. The little island coming up looked like a treasure map. "I think I see a cross made by the palm trees on the sand. There could be buried treasure. We should find a place to land. This tree is in the centre of where X marks the spot, and there's just one way to find out if there's treasure here or not." The crew all started digging, the passengers helped too. Then Tara's tray hit something hard and Molly's oar did too. It was the biggest treasure chest the girls had ever seen, full of gold and silver coins and jewels of red and green. There were diamonds and sapphires and a cutlass made of gold and a jewel-encrusted crown from a treasure trove of old. The pirates had buried it and then they'd sailed away, and no one realised it was there till Tara flew that way. That night they had a party to celebrate their find, but Tara sat there quietly with something on her mind. "The storm has changed our fortunes, for X did mark the spot. We were very lucky, but some other folk were not. Many lost their homes today, they must feel very bad. I think that if we helped them, that I wouldn't feel so sad. Let's fly back to that island and use a parachute to send the treasure down to them. Let's give them all the loot." Molly beamed at Tara. What a brilliant idea! The passengers all clapped her, and the crew all gave a cheer. "You're a very special person, and all of us can tell. You're not just a great pilot, you're super kind as well." So dancing round the treasure chest went happy Tara Binns, and suddenly she realised she'd gone round widder shins. The sand dunes started spinning, she heard a loud kaboom, and next thing she was back home in that dusty attic room. She took off all the pilot's costume and the splendid captain's hat. She thought of her adventure and sat down on the mat. Who knew that being a pilot could be such brilliant fun? Next time I want a costume, I'll pick that very one. The chest replied, "You kids should learn to fly and spread your wings. The sky's the very limit. You can do amazing things."